Oke guys, jadi patch 4.3 sudah hadir ya. Kita lihat apa yang baru dulu di sini. Navi ada rilis dan ada kariran ya. Terus sekarang kita lihat dulu eventnya dulu nih. Event list. Ya, Navi ada rilis dan aduh, Ayaka kita udah nunggu lama banget nih dari awal nge-YouTube, men. Oke, kita bakal gacha pas hari ulang tahunku ya. Premonya udah nyukup nih buat kurantit. BTW, buat yang mau lihat aku pilih berapa nih? Red on nih. Red on cuy. Gara kemarin di banner abangnya itu dapat itu kalah red off guys. Di banner abangnya malah dapat teh ya. Mana nih? Nah, ini nih. Kalah red off di banner abangnya. Nah, sekarang kita udah bisa red on nih, langsung dapat pasti. Oke, kita lihat dulu event barunya. Bos besar kita tampaknya sedang collab cuy sama museum ya, sama museum Sangsing Dui kalau nggak salah namanya. Terus story quest baru. Oke, sisanya kita belum bisa mainin, belum kuat. Oke, karena bos besar kita sedang collab, jadi kita bakal mainin story quest ya kali ini. BTW kali ini mainin story quest ya no commentary ya. Jadi silakan komen di bawah kalian lebih suka yang ada ngomong-ngomongnya atau yang diam aja kayak di video kali ini. Oke, langsung kita mulai aja ya. Intro dulu. Halo semuanya, kembali di channel Autopilot menjelajahi dunia game. Hari ini kita mau mainin story quest pertama buat besar kita. Tapi kali ini no komentar ya, jadi langsung kita OTW.
It's an honor to meet you.
Oh, I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable traveler. We were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you...
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, I'm inclined to correct some of his erroneous... We are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
The first Mora?
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that today Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Teyvat. The world's very first Mora should have been cast by the hands of the Lord.
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that, for example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown
No. My research indicates that Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, the world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next historical treatise will boldly, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as
A dagger and a sword?
well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this. The one who finds the dagger shall become supreme.
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora, Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange and trade. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis. As for its fate...
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence.
No, I am not debating right or wrong.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of...
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not...
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth. I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat?
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us?
Of course. They can come if that's what please.
Hold the line!
What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, so I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that...
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind...
Right! The Lord of Geo wouldn't kill the innocent.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god, but she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick.
What? No way!
This bit of history is a long story. But you may not...
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
No, it's just... Where should I begin?
Over here! Mr. Zhongli! I've been looking for you! So you're over here all this time.
Put down your weapon and stay back. Otherwise, Paimon's...
First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological
The Fatui say that every time.
But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you. I will be conducting an archaeological survey here. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhongli with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to hire Zhongli as my own consultant while I'm in town.
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant...
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out.
Wait, if you're studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also...
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful...
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will...
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will...
Hey, Paimon's good at that too!
Well, that is quite enticing. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps something of interest was what... An ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the... This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything valuable here?
Huh? Paimon thinks it looks really grand.
I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just...
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique...
These mountains were the Lord of Geo's weapons?
What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years, but due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also...
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong and...
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord...
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, rich with archaeological... Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best...
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering...
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare. The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Well, go ahead then. Use your elemental sight to look for any marks.
Get back! Scatter!
Hold the line. Why are there enemies here?
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
together here. But why?
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. But the hydromimic monsters... I have a contract, and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them, and recover the relic. It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize...
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried...
Oh, stop arguing!
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back.
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value...
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way?
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the overlord of the The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and...
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the... Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring...
So, it's only valuable for research if there are remnants of divine...
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the god of salt is because... But you? You're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear. If I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down!
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that teacup.
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the Chi thing...
I see. What a shame.
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? Don't be so simple. All right then. No need to stay here any longer. I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of salt's people. Therefore...
According to legend, the people of the god of salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her protection. But this legend has been around for ages, with the countless scrap collectors...
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before...
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of salt, which is actually how the area... However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism... So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence. But I'm pretty sure the god of salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any... So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
This doesn't sound like something the Lord of Geo would do, though.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the god of salt lie within this ruin, just waiting for someone to find them, right?
You weren't listening at all, were you? Even if there's a mountain of treasures and...
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just...
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli...
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather... Let's go take a look at the mechanism, Miss...
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so. Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the...
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. When I investigated the Seal Act, but when we lit up all the elemental monuments?
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time. But the secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Akan War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east, do the people of Liyue...
I think I've heard this say...
Certainly you have. To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by, at that time, with the chaotic fires, and that haven she eventually found.
How sad, then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west. With this clue, you should be able to solve the...
Keep that!
Trust and rebuild!
These things useful?
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless art.
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so easily!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely not.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept that.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. even half of the trip.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt, you must judge it fairly, even if...
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
Quake!
Are these... statues?
No. These are people.
Duh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Let's light it up! Hold the line!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
It just looks like a fancy salt holder.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount...
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god...
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune!
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Motion to compel!
This is order.
Quake!
Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly,
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with... When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the... The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Pay your dues.
Nice and spicy. Incinerate!
No escape.
Everybody stand back! You're toast! Booba, get them! Time for your arraignment! Ha! Boom boom! Chia!
Can't run from death.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long. Hey, Paimon likes Mora, but Paimon doesn't do bad.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested, I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use...
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue, so I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty... We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Quake!
Hold the line! Nice and spicy! Motion to compel!
Rise! Quake!
Rest and rebuild!
Solidify!
I will have order.
Allow me!
Rise!
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. Fight back against the power of this sword. Surely is much greater than that of. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You cannot take 2 relics.
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is fighting over.
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the god of salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect her people. My sacrifice. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But as punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war...
What?
During the Akan War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Teyvat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then... this sword...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No, that's not true. That can't be true. You're trying to...
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax. Don't try to trick me.
Hey! Come back!
It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such cruel facts, but the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face the truth.
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt and betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone. The Akan War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
But what about these statue things?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them, so they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that but they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted...
Even if this is so, I can't! This must be a lie. A false history, all of it! Don't you dare try to shake my...
Yikes! Zhongli didn't show any...
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad, judging by how she appeared. I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, indeed, in ages past, Havria's stories, faith in a god who has already passed will do. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you like to accompany me in taking a trip to Guyon's...
Huh? What do you want to do, Zhong?
Treading old ground, telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances. Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been... The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she... To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a home. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which I ended. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a... I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its stone carvings were one such ancient method. But unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself.
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved in your... As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Teyvat.
Sounds like...
Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt...
Huh? Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants... This includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned to this ocean... Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments... We did not measure right and wrong during the days of the... Of course, as I am now, I only wish... I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. Though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power, if a day comes when he should recover his strength and return, I will remain here for a while. That is a good question. In the past, I might have given... But now... Yes. But if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking to preserve...
Oke guys, akhirnya selesai juga story quest pertama dari bos besar kita, Zhongli. Bentar, kita sambil nikmatin sunset dulu nih, puncak gunung. Capek banget ngedaki. Nah, sunrise. Ah, bagus. Oh iya, thumbnail. calon thumbnail kita buat dulu calon thumbnail kita. Udah bagus nih kayaknya. Nah, simpan.
Let's go find some treasure.
Oke. Mungkin segini dulu video kali ini. Sampai jumpa di video dan live stream yang akan datang. Jangan lupa jaga kesehatan dan minum air putih yang banyak. Bye bye.